second Maximise event here at the Kent Invicta Chamber of Commerce. It's great to see you all here and wanting to get the best from your chamber membership. My name is Sue Finch. I'm your host for this morning, and I'm the Membership Success Manager here at the Chamber. It's my role to ensure that all of our members get the very best value from their membership with us and ensure that we also meet their expectations as well. So I'm joined this morning by my colleagues Molly, Kelly and Annie from the events team, as well as Kaz Macklin, my membership services colleague, who many of you will of course already know. Unfortunately, we were due to hear from Keith Brown at Quest this morning, but he's unwell and unable to join us. However, we are joined by Caroline Mason from Westfield Health, and she will shortly be giving you an overview of the great benefits available from Westfield Health. And then I'll be presenting a very brief overview of Quest services with my limited knowledge and the Chamber marketing opportunities that are also available to you as members. Please do, if you have any particular questions, you can pop them into the chat as we go. We'd be happy to get those questions answered for you. And if you wish, we can unmute you and you can ask the question yourself. And as well as that, towards the end of the session, Molly's going to brief us about any forthcoming events. So may I first introduce Caroline Mason from Westfield Health. Thank you, Caroline.
Hi, everybody. Just bear with me 1 second, because this is when everything starts to hopefully go correctly. And I'm just going to pull up my presentation and share this. So I have to do the worrying thing of, is that sharing okay? If somebody just puts a hand up and just lets me know. Yeah, wonderful. Just pop this onto a slideshow as well. Okay, so bear with me 1 second. I'm normally a bit of a Teams girl, so apologies in advance if I'm flicking through slides and going forward. So good morning, everybody. As I said, my name's Caroline from Westfield Health. Just been invited along today just to give you a little bit of an overview of Westfield Health itself and just run through a little bit about ourselves, our connection with the Chamber, and then touch on some of the support that we can offer your organisation, whether that's through specific plans such as the Chamber Primary Health Plan, which as a member you would have access to, or whether your needs are a little bit different and you want to actually create a culture of health and well-being. We do lots of different options that we can support you with. So just moving on, so a little bit about ourselves. So our tagline basically and what we're all around, we do transform people's mental and physical well-being, creating happier, healthier people and more resilient businesses. So whether that's mental health support, gym management, health cash plans or well-being webinars, we tailor solutions to your organisation, to your goals and your people. Now it's always a bit of a mouthful saying that, but I have to get the tagline in at every time. So a little bit about ourselves and working with yourself. So we've been the British Chamber of Commerce preferred employee health and wellbeing provider probably for around sort of 15 years now, certainly longer than I've been working for Westfield Health. With ourselves, we are over 100 years old, and where we traditionally fell into what we call the health cash plan market, and it was very much about healthcare and benefits, we have, like most companies, really evolved so we can now support organisations with their overall health and wellbeing strategies. Certainly with ourselves, what our approach is with organisations is we know and we understand there's no one size fits all. Our approach to working with you would always be to understand what your needs are, what your objectives and your challenges are, and trying to really work with you to put in the right solution. Again, we of course know that that's very different, but we do also believe this doesn't matter if you are a sole trader, whether you've got 5 employees or 500. We've got a range of options that can be cost effective and really add value to your organisation. Now, certainly with our cash plan, which I will be running through, that does tend to be one of the easiest ways of actually putting in together healthcare benefits and health and rewards into your organisation. And our Chamber Primary Health Plan is available specifically for member organisations of accredited Chamber of Commerces. But as I said, no size there. If you are literally a sole trader and you want to take healthcare just for yourself, that's wonderful. If you've got 500 staff, sometimes what we can do with yourselves is, again, pinpoint the right solutions for yourselves. Okay, so what we do, so as I touched on before, it all starts with initial consultation with one of our experts, i.e. me. We talk through very much around your goals, your objectives, and from there we will obviously put a bespoke proposal in place for you. So some of the options that we can do to give you an idea, as I said, we have got the health cash plan, which I will come on to in a little bit more detail, but we do such a range of benefits. So we offer health and lifestyle screening, and that's again a great way of investing into your employees and allowing them to understand where their health sits, but also helps you formulate plans for the future, understanding what the health and sort of touch point of your organisation is so that you can plan and see if there's further investment in wellbeing that can be made. We do offer private health cover. We have various wellbeing programs for larger organisations. If you wanted to actually put a gym on site and have somebody running a gym, that again is things that we can do. And also certainly over the last 2 to 3 years, our wellbeing webinars and mental health first aid training has been very popular options, because we understand, of course, that what a lot of companies do, not only do they want to look after the physical wellbeing of their staff, it's very much around the mental health side as well. So we do have some specific support that we can give there. So we do line manager training, but we also offer, as I said, the mental health first aider training as well. So that's again, like I said, just to give you an overview and snapshot of everything we do. That's not exhaustive. We have a lot of solutions that we can support your organisations with. Okay, so moving on to the sort of chamber health plan, because like I said, this tends to be one of the easiest ways of implementing rewards and benefits. Now, of course, there's a number of reasons why you as an organisation can look at this. Firstly, for yourselves, for your employees, it's a great benefit at this moment in time with the cost of living, and also around, you know, the increased waiting periods that we have. It's a great way of ensuring that your employees can actually get access to everyday health cover. It allows their money to go further. But we also know there's several other reasons as well. So for your organisation, it can be very much around making sure that you've got business protection in there. So what I mean by that is ensuring that, you know, you're achieving your duty of care whilst being supportive to your organisation. So it may well be that you're actually wanting to look at more of the mental health side, making sure that you've got counselling and support for your employees. More and more companies at this moment in time are coming to us with needs around hybrid working. How do they look after their staff? Staff retention, how do they keep hold of staff? How do they attract staff from other organisations? And we know certainly in, you know, the Southeast, potentially more than any other area of the country, you're in a position now where you can potentially attract London-based staff who are looking for a different, slower pace, but ultimately they want to have those London benefits. So putting something such as a chamber primary health plan is a good way, regardless of why you're looking at it, to actually tick those boxes and ensure that you're investing in your staff. So the chamber plan is exclusively available for BCC members, as we said. It is designed as a corporate paid plan, although we do have other options and voluntary schemes as well. There's 4 levels of cover to choose from, and it starts off from just £6.13 per employee. It is very much a community rated plan, so unlike your traditional private health cover, it's not a case of if your staff use it and claim it's going to go up in price. It is rated specifically, and again, you know, it doesn't matter how old your staff is. So if you are in a situation where you've got a slightly aging workforce, who you potentially feel will get more out of the plan, and that's one of the reasons supporting them, that's absolutely fine. You're not going to find yourself actually paying more money for those of us that are, you know, 50 or over, as opposed to sort of 23-year-olds. The plan also gives you the option to allow staff to upgrade. So the idea is you can choose the actual level of cover for your employees. And if somebody did think, actually, you know, this would really benefit me to take a little bit more cover, say, for example, they wear contact lenses, they've got the option to actually upgrade their level of cover and take a higher premium, paying us directly themselves, and also actually taking cover for partners as well. So there's lots of ways you can play around with it, and you can also create reward structures. So let's again say, for example, you loved the plan, but the reality is budgets are still there. You know, it's still got to be something that's cost effective, but you want to perhaps have something slightly different for your senior members, or perhaps people who've been there with you longer. You get the ability to sometimes create a little bit of a reward structure, and maybe say put one level in place for your entry staff, and then they've been with you for a certain length of time, you could always upgrade their level of cover, which will make more sense when I come on to the next slides. So as well as the sort of cashback and everyday health cover, what these plans do, as I've touched on again, is they do provide some really useful health and wellbeing services as well. So the chamber plan automatically includes a full EAP service, so your staff will get access to a 24-hour advice and information line. And if they are struggling and the counsellor feels that they'd actually benefit from face-to-face sessions, that again can be provided. There's a doctor line, so 24-hour service to actually be able to speak to a UK-based GP. There's our Westfield Rewards, which is an amazing part of the actual plan. And that's what moves it a little bit away from just being around healthcare into actual benefits for your staff as well, which again, I will come on to. And also gym discounts as well. So some great additional services that can act as real sort of perks and rewards, as opposed to just, as I said, the healthcare. Okay, so I appreciate the colours on this slide aren't great, but I will try and go through this as much as possible. So if you were looking at the Chamber Primary Health Plan, these are all the actual benefits that you get. So as you can see across the top, you've got your level 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as I said, the level 1 starts off from £6.13. And the idea is we would have a level of cover designed for whatever budget or however much you're wanting to invest in. For smaller organisations, what will often happen, because everybody's classed almost as a key worker, it's quite often that smaller organisations will take the higher levels, but that's not exclusive. As I said, everyone's got a budget to work towards. So the plan's split into what we call your money back benefits and your health and wellbeing services. So on your money back cashback, as I said, it's all around quick access to diagnostic tests and treatment and your everyday health cover. So every person would get a pot of money every year to actually spend on the following. We're not saying that every person is going to use those. You're not necessarily going to use your full optical benefit if you don't wear glasses. Likewise with some of the specialist consultations, you're only going to use those if there is an issue and you need to use them. So let's say it was the level 2 cover. Each year, optical cover, which covers things like eye tests, prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, up to £105. So with some of these benefits, what you may find as an organisation as well is you're actually spending money on these things. So if you have got workers using DSE equipment or drivers, potentially you're already paying for eye tests, you're already putting money towards glasses. So some of these benefits, you can actually absorb your actual spend in here and provide a rounded, robust cash plan. So optical, as I said, up to £105. Dental cover up to £105 on the level 2. You've got chiropody in there, consultation and diagnostics. So again, really useful benefits. As I touched on, it's around quick access to diagnostic tests and treatments. So some of the benefits are going to support your staff, particularly if they would be waiting under the NHS for a longer period. So having your employees being able to actually access physiotherapy, chiropractic treatment, if they've been referred by your GP, it allows them to actually go and see a private consultant. And as we said, particularly with the non-urgent things, which is basically non-life-threatening, we know, of course, the NHS are under pressure and you have a waiting list. If you've got an employee that's got a problem with their knee, could be affecting them driving, they might not be as productive as what they normally are. So this allows great investment for them to be able to actually go and get those issues resolved, get them potentially to a point of diagnosis. On the wellbeing services, we've got access to scanning. So again, MRI and CT scans would be covered. You've got your doctor line, which I touched on. So again, we know particularly for minor things, how hard it is to actually get an appointment. Sometimes you're phoning up and you're potentially waiting a few days. This, again, great support. Can support sometimes your line managers when they're trying to support staff as well. If you've got employees that are phoning in sick, can't get a doctor's appointment, wouldn't it be great to just say, actually, have you opened up your Westfield plan? Don't forget there's a GP helpline. Why don't you give them a call today? You've got your full EAP service included as standard on there. So as we said, straight away, you've got access to an information line, an advice line. Again, that can support managers. We know as line managers and middle managers, just how tough it is. Not only are you trying to look after yourself, you're also trying to look after your employees and, support them when they're going through a tough time. Sometimes it's just so nice to actually pick up that phone and actually talk to somebody about how you're feeling, how you're going to manage this situation, what's the right thing to actually say. Although we have companies with great HR teams, sometimes your HR team is not available. I used to work for a call centre. Our HR team was amazing, but the reality was after 5 o'clock, they were not available. So if I had an issue at 7 o'clock at night, it was just amazing to be able to pick up an EAP service and actually phone and just talk through what my concerns were. That also includes structured counselling as well, as I mentioned earlier. There's personal accident covered under the actual plan. So a small payout there if one of your employees actually had an accident that did result in death or permanent disability, there would be a payment. So again, lots of just sort of extra support for your employees within the plan. And finally, the Westfield rewards as well. So as I touched on earlier, great benefit. And this helps you sort of put in not just a health plan that only 3 members of your 10 staff would use regularly, but something there that every member of staff can use, particularly now with the cost of living. We're all looking to actually save money. So Westfield Rewards is basically an online portal that allows you discounts at over 1,000 retailers, both online and in-store. That can be in a variety of ways. So there might be a cashback. So if you're actually about to purchase something, let's just say, for example, from Superdrug, you're buying it online like a lot of us do nowadays, working from home, you can pop onto your Westfield Rewards, have a look. Is there an offer there? Can you download an instant voucher, or is there a cashback amount available? It's all around helping us save money on things that we were already purchasing. That also downloads to an app, so you can literally be in store and saving money. So as I said, it's not about encouraging people to spend any more money, but it's about saving money on what you're already spending. It's not just your standard retailers and shopping. That would help your staff save money on everything from their weekly grocery shopping to if they're traveling, you can get cash back on accommodation, airport parking, domestic coverage on there as well. So for example, if you're shopping around, like again, a lot of us are doing at this moment in time to see where we can save money. If your car insurance is due for renewal, your home insurance, travel insurance, there's lots of cashbacks and discounts available on just a host. So it can really be something that you can actually make use of on a weekly basis. Okay, so that is all on the actual presentation there. So I'm just going to stop sharing and I'd be happy to take any questions that anyone's actually got on there. Feel free to pop any on the chat as well if you just want to pop something in the chat.
I'd just like to say how great this benefit is to us at the Chamber. I was just saying before we all joined the meeting that it's fantastic for the Westfield Rewards for the cashback, and it's absolutely brilliant for the money back, the cashback plan on dental and optical and so on. The money's there back in my account within usually a day or two, and it's so quick and easy. I think we've got some questions coming up here. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. If you've asked the question, do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question?
Hi, sorry, Sue. I don't know if it's one of the question I had was for the specialist consultations and the therapy treatments. Do you have to be referred by GP first? Because I know our current medical one, you have to go to the GP first and then be referred, or can you phone them direct?
Yeah, it depends on the actual benefit. One thing I didn't touch on, which is also a very important part of the actual plan and on what differentiates the traditional private health cover to a health cash plan, is firstly pre-existing conditions are already covered as well. So there's no exclusions for staff. Now, when it comes to the actual benefits, if you've purchased a chamber plan, a lot of the benefits, you do not need to have a GP referral, and certainly therapies is one of them. So if you're wanting to claim on the therapist benefit, physiotherapy, acupuncture, chiropractic treatment, for example, that is absolutely fine. Personally, we would recommend you visit your GP, but that's only to make sure you're getting the right treatment. It is not a stipulation of the actual scheme. So the answer, long-winded answer, yes, for therapies, you do not need to have a GP referral. For private consultations, that is one of the only benefits where you do need to have a referral on. So at the moment, you would be referred by your GP to actually see a consultant. But the way I always say it is, you're never going to wake up one morning and think, I know, I want to go and see a consultant. You're generally going to have some condition that you potentially would be speaking to your GP about anyway. That doesn't need to be a letter, and we don't need to see proof of that. We would simply ask you, when you put your claim in, who has referred you. You put the name of your GP who's referred you, and that is adequate proof for ourselves. It's more just the importance for us of just understanding that you have been referred, but we don't generally ask to see proof of that.
That's brilliant. I'm especially amazed that you've got homeopathy on there, because I think that's not, you don't really get that on many covers, that it's recognized. So that's brilliant. That's a great one. It's showing that you're going in this sort of more holistic, natural way, or using it alongside, shall I say, which is brilliant. And then, sorry, just the last question on my side is, so sorry, I didn't see dermatologist. Is that under specialist consultation, or?
Yeah, with ourselves, with the consultation, it's more the definition of a consultant. So we're not looking for sort of a consultant in a specific field. It's more if you've been referred to a consultant, surgeon or physician, and that's then regardless of what they specialize in. So dermatology is quite a good example. It's quite a popular situation. If you have got a bit of a condition with your skin and you're referred to a consultant dermatologist, again, absolutely fine. They're going to be a consultant physician in most cases.
Thank you. Looks like a brilliant cover. Thank you.
Yeah, it's also worth noting on here as well, it's Terry just touched on it there with the alternative therapies. Whilst a Chamber Primary Health Plan is a great off-the-shelf package, if your company's needs are a little bit different and you are a larger organisation, sometimes what we can do is create a bespoke plan for you. So if there's any benefits that you like the look of, or if you're wanting to compare against your own healthcare providers, you know, as I said, we always have that first initial consultation with you to understand what you're looking for, the reasons why, and what your objectives are. So any consultations that we do are free, and I'm happy to catch up with anybody over Teams for initial sort of 20-30 minute conversation if you're just wanting to understand a little bit more about what we offer.
Thank you, Caroline. There was a question from Emma Honeysett there. Did that get answered? She wants to know the name of the app. Yeah,
that's fine. So we do have a variety of apps available. You would, of course, have to be a customer with ourselves at this moment in time. So firstly, with our standard claims. So if you have a Westfield plan already, you can sign up for an online account. We have got a claims app, and you can sort of view all your benefits on there. You can claim online. And then with some of our services, there are additional apps that you can use as well. So if you have a plan with us, that includes the Westfield Rewards. We have what we call a smart spending app, a variety of others. If you're already a client and you're querying about the apps, you know, please feel free. After I finish my bit, I will pop my personal details on there as well, so you can obviously contact me directly for any sort of specific queries.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's just a question on there about an initial consultation as well. So again, with ourselves, if you were already a client and you already have a Westfield plan, you don't need to actually contact us to have a consultation. It's part and parcel of the benefit. We are all about choice. So again, we don't have any specific people that we use. We don't have a supplier network. You're able to actually just search in your area. All that we recommend you do prior to actually doing any claims is make sure that that person has a relevant qualification. So again, making sure that they are a consultant, physician or surgeon, but you have that element of choice. You don't need to phone us before you actually claim. Hopefully that answered that question.
Thank you. Any more questions from anyone? If you do think of any questions as we go into the next session, please pop them into the chat, and we can always ask Caroline at the end. Okay, so we're going to move on to my slot now about the marketing opportunities, the free marketing opportunities that we have here at the Chamber. Molly's going to pop up a presentation for me to work from. And as I mentioned already, unfortunately, Keith Brown is unable to make the meeting today and present to you, but I'm going to do the best to show you a couple of slides initially before I talk about the marketing opportunities with Quest. So going forward, if you do have any specific Quest questions after this, please do pop anything into the chat, or there's some contact details there, or you're welcome to send me an email. I'll put my email address up in the chat as well a little bit later. So please direct any questions that you have on Quest. But Quest is actually a fantastic member benefit that you have at your fingertips here. And in a nutshell, as it says here, they offer 4 services, which is human resources, HR, health and safety, legal and tax. They offer 5 advice lines on all of those elements, 3 document libraries, and 780 plus template documents. There's a lot of information within Quest. There's also £1 million worth of legal expenses insurance, and you can access through your own chamber login. So when you go into your chamber membership login, you can click on the Quest element of the benefits, and it will give you your login details, and you can then log in to Quest and have access to all these hundreds of templates. There's all sorts of things on there, all sorts of information literally at your fingertips. So if it's not you within your organisation that deals with these elements, please do let other colleagues know what we have available for you as part of your membership. Thanks, Molly. And just really those key points again, the 4 services, the 5 advice lines, the 3 document libraries plus insurance, it's all included in your membership fee. There's nothing extra to pay. You have unlimited access. It really does have a very high value to your business to be able to have these experts right there at the end of the phone. Many of the advice lines are 24/7. So you can literally pick up the phone anytime and speak to people that are experienced in these areas. And there's also a free one-to-one service as well. So if you wanted to have a bit of a review on your HR services or health and safety services, you can actually have a one-to-one with Keith Brown, who's the one that's off sick today, and he'll be able to happily have a chat with you about your needs, really. They do offer HR and health and safety services available. They are available to you at very good competitive rates. But essentially, all this information is available to you for free. So please dive into it and have a look and see what's there and see what might be of value to you. If you have any questions, please, as I say, pop them into the chat or send an email across to myself later on, or directly to Quest if you wish. And apologies that I don't have lots and lots of in-depth information there for you, because obviously I don't work for Quest, but I've done the best just to give you a quick overview there. So I hope that's okay. Moving on now to the chamber benefits in terms of the marketing opportunities. We have so many different tools for you here, which you may or may not be aware of. You may or may not have accessed these tools. But basically, I'm going to run through the marketing opportunities that we offer. Most of them are free. There's 1 or 2 that are not, but I'll explain as we go. So Molly, if we can start with the business listing, please. Oh yeah, there we go, sorry. So the business listing of members on the website, it's actually been designed to give members the opportunity to promote their business in their own words, effectively. Each entry includes company information, Google Maps showing your location, social media links, an opportunity to load on videos and photographs, testimonials as well, and of course, obviously, your contact details. I found out the other day one of the members I was speaking to had actually gained some business through looking up a member on the business listing. So it helps you to really connect across the wider Kent community effectively with these benefits. So if you're looking for a particular type of business, or if you are looking to collaborate with a certain business, you've got all their details there. So I would suggest have a check on your chamber login and make sure that your business listing is there. So if you search for a business and search for yourself, that would be the best thing to do. Make sure that you're on there for others to see as well. Thank you, Molly. On to the chamber blog. So this is a very heavily visited part of our website, the chamber blogs. A blog can be anything but a sales pitch, really. It can be all kinds of interesting information about you and your business. Maybe you're sponsoring a local community initiative or a charity, or you're doing something with another member. It's an opportunity for you to put a blog on our website and for other members to see. As I say, it's a very heavily visited part of our website, and it's an area that you can utilize to help you to effectively raise your profile amongst the membership. So do have a think about that. I know it can take a little bit of time and can maybe be a little bit daunting to think about writing a blog, but I would suggest have a look and see what our members are blogging about, because it might spark some ideas for you. Just have a look through and just see what's on there. We've got pages and pages of really interesting blogs. You may even find there are members on there that you wish to collaborate with and connect with, so it can really help you with your connections with other members. And Molly, if we can move to the next slide, please. So we've got here our member-to-member offers. This is where effectively you can receive an offer or present your own offer. It can be a great opportunity for you to reach out to other members in terms of them, taking up your offer, or there could be something on there that you or your, your staff, you and your board might be interested in receiving. So it's definitely worth having a look on there. This section is actually on the main chamber website, and it is also on our digital newsletter that goes out every month. So do have a think about using some of these benefits, or perhaps presenting your own member-to-member offer on there for others to use and connect with you. And then we're going to move on to the Thinking Business magazine. I'm just going to show you my magazine here. I'm sure that you are all familiar with this brilliant magazine. This magazine comes out bi-monthly, and it's available for the Kent Invicta community, basically. It's produced by Ben & Publishing, and it's 52 pages long, and it's a combination of really good must-read news, regular features, articles, really essential business information there for you. And the idea is it's helping you to enhance, protect and connect you and your business. Now you can submit press releases and company profiles through this magazine, and it's an opportunity for you. If you haven't already done your article, you get a 250-word article with an image, and it's available to you for free. Normally it would cost £350, so it is a very, very valuable part of our membership that we offer. Now, we do also have an opportunity for potentially going forward a members news article, something like perhaps a change in legislation with new industry, or some news that you have to, the news that you want to spread, really. Perhaps your business is growing, or perhaps you're doing something that you want to shout about. So there's an opportunity there, but it obviously is subject to space. But yeah, it's great to be in the magazine. So if you haven't been in the magazine yet, I can tell you that the next edition is the December-January edition, and the deadline for that is actually the 9th of November. So there's plenty of time for you to get your article in. And if you've got any questions, please do contact me, and I'll be happy to have a chat with you about, getting your article in. What's next on the agenda? We've got events such as this. but we also have face-to-face events as well as virtual events to help you make your connections and promote your business. So on the event side of things, we have 2 face-to-face events per month, and we move around the county to make it fair for all of our members to get to these events. They're very, very well attended. We have 100+ people coming to many of our face-to-face events these days. But of course, we're still carrying on as well at the moment with our virtual business networking, again, which is very well attended. And it just means you haven't got to travel anywhere. So it can help you with time management as well. So we have 2 of those a month also. You can actually book those through the events section on your chamber login, through the website, or through your digital events newsletter that comes out to you. But if you have any problems accessing any of this, please let me know and I'll be happy to give you some guidance on that. We do have also webinars and occasional sort of conference and special events as well. Any of our events that we record, like the webinars, the information webinars, they can be re-watched back through our resource hub, again available through your chamber login. So do have a look at that, because there's been some really interesting webinars recently, lots on digital marketing and so on. So if that sort of thing interests you, plus lots of other subjects, do have a look at that. And also, if you're holding your own event, you can actually promote your own event through the Kent and Medway Growth Hub website as well. Again, I can put a connection through, a link in the chat box for you in a moment. But yeah, the events are, you know, a real sort of cornerstone of our business. So it's lovely to see you all here today. So please do come along to other events as well. Thanks, Molly. I'm going to move on to the chamber membership list now. Now, you may or may not know that we can actually send you a list of all the other chamber members. The idea is it's an opportunity for you to connect with other members and to help you to build your network and promote your services. I mean, obviously, we do ask that you use this with discretion and relevance and respect, of course. It is GDPR friendly, which means it doesn't have email addresses on there, but it could be a good starting point for you to make some other connections out there in the wider Kent community with other Kent Chamber members. So let me know if you would like a list, or you can actually request this list through your chamber login as well. There's a little form that you can fill in and just request that. So do have a look at that if that's something of interest. And lastly, really, I wanted to mention this opportunity. Now, this is a paid for opportunity. We have A3 ad frames at our head office in Ashford. Normally, in a normal year, prior to COVID, we had something like 25,000 visitors coming through, and the ad frames are there in our main atrium, and they're there for people to wander through, have a look at the flyer, the poster in the ad frame, and they're in prominent positions for people to view. So when people are having a break or having lunch and they're wandering around with their coffee or their sandwiches or whatever, they're wandering around the atrium and having a look at the ad frame. So it's another place for you to raise your profile with other members and visitors to the head office. So it's £99 for the year plus VAT. And if you do have any inquiries about that, just let me know and I can point you in the right direction. That's really everything from me on the member benefits. I was going to go over to Molly now. Molly, would you be able to tell us about some of the upcoming events, please?
Hiya. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course I can. So we have a couple good events coming up. So on Thursday, the 13th of October, we will have Chamber Connections, which is a networking special with Kent Association for the Blind. They're our charity of the year, and this is a free networking event being held at Givaudan in Ashford. And it's just a really good way to meet other people, obviously from the local community, other business owners, and it's World Sight Day as well, so that's really good in connection with our charity of the year. So there'll be a few games there on the day. I believe they'll be doing like some blindfolding and some scent games, so you can try and guess what it is that you're smelling. So it'll be nice and interactive and something a little bit different as well. We usually have around 80 people at these events live on the day too. So it's a really good way to meet lots of different people from the local business community. Another one worth that I should tell you about would be Kent Invicta Live, which is why you should consider employing sales staff for your business. This one is being held on Tuesday, the 18th of October. And that will be with our guest speaker, Owen Williams, who is the director of Dreamer. And he'll be discussing why you should consider employing sales staff for your business, when you should start planning for this, and what needs to be done before starting a recruitment drive. He will, obviously sales is a huge part of every business. So he'll be looking at how you achieve sales, how you increase sales, and what you should do before you start to try going down the sales funnel. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. Does anybody have any other questions? Because I think naturally we're going to be finishing a little bit earlier today, just because we didn't have Keith's presentation that normally have been about 20 minutes. I haven't been checking the chat really for questions. Is there anything on there at all, Kaz, that you've picked up from any of that?
No, the chat has been very quiet. I just wanted to add a little bit of value. One of the Quest hot topics, every month they have a hot topic, and they're acutely aware that many people may be forced into the unenviable position of having to look at staff redundancies. And what they're saying is, before you make the decision to cut your staff or to make staff redundant, do have a chat with Quest. I have put their phone number in the chat, because they may be able to offer you guidance and information before you have to go down that route. But we do recognise that possibly it could be an inevitable outcome of the current economic climate, but there is support for you there if you have to make that unenviable decision. And it's their hot topic this month, so.
It is. And we put these hot topics out on our social media channels as well. I just wanted to add as well, if anybody isn't getting the newsletter, the digital newsletter every month, and perhaps isn't getting any newsletters about our events, please let us know, because we'll make sure we get you added on. But they're very valuable, very valuable information, and we do, let you know about these hot topics as well. They're having some really good, interesting topics from Quest. So if you're not receiving anything or you're not seeing anything, please let me know and we can point you in the right direction with that.
Excellent. The other thing I was going to mention, Sue, if it's okay with you, is if you've got some news or a hot topic or something great has happened within your organisation, do please post out and join the Kent Invicta Chamber LinkedIn group, because you can post out on that. And we've got Jodie here, Jodie Connect from Covershaw. You're a great fan of that, aren't you? Jodie, are you with us?
I am, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you post out actually via the chamber website, don't you, on the LinkedIn group?
Yes. Yeah, we try as much as we can to be involved as much as we can. And it's a great group to be involved in, and we find that it gets much
traction.
That's the word I was looking for.
Traction. Selena and Max, Selena from The Hive and Max Blustin from New Planet Film, that might be something that you guys might like to consider. So if you join the Kent Invicta Chamber LinkedIn group, it could be an opportunity there. As with all of these things, it's time consuming, and if you put content out, it's kind of nice to engage with the people that comment on it as well, but really useful. And I would reinforce Sue's comment about doing your business listing, because if you're on page 2 or 3 of the Google Analytics, by posting a business listing on the chamber site, it actually elevates you in the Google listing, because it goes members through the chamber. So that's always useful to know. I don't think I've got anything else to add, Sue. Sorry.
Well, I've just learned something from you, Kaz. I had no idea about that. Who knew? That's brilliant. That's a really great top tip there from you. Thank you. No, unless anyone's got any other questions, I'd just like to say thank you very much for everyone for coming today. Thank you to Caroline, and thank you to my colleagues for being here and supporting me as well. And if you've got any questions, drop me an email, and we're all here to help you make the best from your membership and help you grow your business. So thank you very much for coming. Sorry we are finishing a little bit early today, but really appreciate you coming along and for all the questions that you've asked. So thank you.